Good morning, student. Am I audible? And my screen is visible? Thank you, student, for your feedback. So let's we start our second practical as per the JTU syllabus. Now the second practical title that is regarding basic Windows and Linux command. So first of all, we aware about what is the meaning of a command. The command that we called a set of instructions which used to perform a specific work. Now, which type of specific work? Now, for example, I have created any file, I have created any folder, like I have to delete some files, I have to know my IP address. So that things we called a set of instructions. So that we perform some specific task. So let's we take like one example how that task we execute. So let's we take one example. We have one command that we learn mkdir space ram. So here meaning of mkdir, that is a make a directory or make a folder, which is the name that is a ram. So that is the way where we go for that. Now the how the command it's a work. So it's interpreted by the OS interpreted to a machine language. It means it's a give the instruction into the machine language which a machine can understand. I have to create a directory, I have to delete a directory, I have to delete a file, create a file, or certain task. Let's we go for the Windows that we aware about. It's very easy to do any type of the actions where you can create a file, move file, delete it, and many more tasks that you can do easily. You can also make a website, you can watch movie, listen songs, and many more tasks, day-to-day regular life activity that we can do into the Windows. Now we are aware about the one difference between a DOS operating system as well as the any install operating system. Now, for example, if you purchase a new laptop, so when you purchase a new laptop, so at that time you have a two category. One with any install OS like Windows or a Linux platform, and second they have to set a DOS operating system. Meaning of DOS, it means without operating system you also purchase a laptop. So that is the difference you are aware about DOS OS and the Windows OS. DOS OS, it means it's give the list of all hardware resource devices as well as your desktop or computer, and now you have to select whatever OS that you have to install it. And second thing, that is a predefined install OS. So that is the things where you are aware about a meaning of the DOS as well as the any install OS. Let's we give go for the overview of Windows. So we la last go for like a oldest version, so where we have a Windows Vista, then after Windows XP, then after Windows 7, then Windows 8, 8.1, and then after the Windows 10. Now, in a currently, if you purchase a laptop or desktop in a market, so they have to provide it a Windows 10 install, or otherwise you have to go for a DOS operating system or a Linux base. So that is the basic overview regarding Windows that we are aware about it. So we go for the first command. First command, that is the IP config. Now the meaning of IP config that we called internet protocol configurations. So it's a specifically give the informations regarding my network configuration. Now, for example, I have to know my IP address. Then I have to run ipconfig command. Also, I have to know my DNS domain name, TCP/IP network connections, DHCP protocols. It means if you know your network connection related detail, then you have to run the command that we called a IP config. So let's we go for that example. So now in a Windows, if you have installed the OS and any version, so you have to just click on here a left hand side corner start menu. Once you click on start menu, then you have to press a CMD. CMD, that is known as a command prompt. So we have to open the applications that we called a command prompt. So we open the command prompt first, and where we go for that basic all instructions. Again, I repeat, you have to just type a CMD, and in a CMD, that is the meaning of a command prompt that we have to open it. So let's I have write down the first command ipconfig. You can see it's a give the network configuration related detail, and here you go for like IPv4 address. So that is the my IP address 172.21.17.206. So that is currently my system IP address. Also, it's give a subnet address 255.255.240. Then a default gateway where I have access my internet services. It also give a IPv6 address. If I install any virtual machines, VMware, to that detail is also provided. Which domain I have currently connected. I have connected MEFGA domain, Marwari Education Foundation. So that if you know the network related detail, then you have to run the command ipconfig. So that is the first and a basic command. There is a question. Can we found the location of device using the IP address? As a normal human being, that is not possible. It's a required license software and the government permissions. That things only doing by the government agencies where they have to certain access as well as that license software. As a normal human being, it will not identifying the locations. So let's we go for the next command. So now next command that is regarding the ping. So generally a ping command that we check for the whether a connection is established between your computer to another computer via TCP/IP or IP address transmission control protocol where we access the internet services. Otherwise, you have to like connect it through the LAN cable or a Wi-Fi through hotspot if you connected, and then whether you have to check the connection it's working or not. Same way like if you go for a online activity where you have to check whether a connection is established or not, then you have to go for the ping command. So let's we go for that example. So first of all, you have to write down ping and then space IP address, or you go for the any live website name. Like I go for google.com. So now you can see the result. It's a default send up 4 packet, and the 4 packet it will be a receive, and lost that is a 0. It means that my internet it's properly working. Maybe if you found any lost packet, so that a connection from your system it's not established. Also, like I have to connect it through the someone else Wi-Fi, and then I have to check whether internet is working or not. That is the way where you can do the ping command and check for the connection. If you receive the all packet, that means your connection is properly established. And if you get any lost packet, so there is a maybe disruptions in networks. The next command that is a traceat. It's similar like to a ping command which usually see the network packet. but it's a give the relevant nearest to home destination. That means it's a give your nearest area, or we can say connected network, to reach out what is the connection time that is the required. There is a questions. Packet send for means they have check a default send for a packet for the checking for the connections. If you like go for any like website or any IP address, like for example, my laptop with I've connected through the another laptop with a LAN cable or through a hotspot. So it's a default send for packet to check for the connections. And if you receive the all four packet, so your connection is properly working. It's a default count that set. So let's we go for the example reset command. It's a take 30 to 40-second time. There is a one previous questions. What is the difference between IPv4 address and IPv6 address? First of all, difference between if you go for the IPv4, that is your 32-bit address, and if you go for IPv6 address, so that is a 128-bit. And it's like if you discuss about IPv4, so it's a manually as well as the DHCP address configure where end-to-end connections. But if you go for the IPv6, so it's a support auto as well as the renumbering the address configure. So that is the major difference between IPv4 as well as the IPv6 address. Main the difference between length, where IPv4 32 and IPv6 128. So now you can see the result. Trace it, it's completed. So now here you can see if I reach out to that IP address 172.21.16.1, so it's a take of 1 millisecond time. MS, that is a millisecond, because if you focus on my IP address, so it's a same domain, just last digit it will be a change. So it means I have reach out to that. It's only take a 1 millisecond. Then again another domain address that I have to, so less than 1 millisecond, that is a star, not average time find. So these are the IP address. If I open, so it's take, that is the average time. That is the meaning. Next, and the important and basic command, that is a directory and CD. So now the meaning of a directory, which display the list of file and subdirectory. So let's we take an example. Currently, like I'm located in a C drive on like user folder, and then I have to know how what is the list of that as a file and folder it's available in that user folder. So then I have to type a dir command, directory command, where it's give that list of subdirectory as well as that all file. So that is the command a dir. Next command that we have a cd. Like for example, I am currently on download a folder, and now like I move to into some another folder. So then I have to type a cd space that folder, or we called a directory name. So then I have to redirect on that path. So let's we take an example. So now you currently see the my path. I am located at C drive. In a C drive user folder, in a user folder, that is my system name, max user name. Currently I am located. Now in this I have to know how many file and folder available. Then I have to type a dir and press the enter. It's a give the list of all directory as well as the file. So you can see the here a summary, a 20 directory. It means a 20 folder available and one file available. It also give the hidden folder name or hidden file name. So now you can see the here those are the dot. That all are the hidden folder which is a default system created. And then you can see that is a file, and then after the actual folder 3D object, contact, desktop, document, download, favorite, link. So these are the default folder which available in a user. That is the command that we call a dir, which display the list of file as well as the subdirectory that we call a folder. Now next command that we have a cd. So now the meaning of cd that we called a change the current directory. So now you can see currently I am located on a max directory. Now for example, like I have to move into the link directory or like a document directory. So then I have to type cd documents. Now you can see I have redirect into the document directory. There's a questions hidden file बतावे सा directory में yes, you can see the list of 6 results that are the hidden folders as well as the file. So now you can see the cursor that I have to point out at a document directory. So that is the command of cd, where one directory to another directory you can move or one folder to another folder you can move. Now the question is I have to like backtrack from the current directory, and now I move into the max. So then you have to type cd space dot. Now you can see I left out from the document directory and reach into the my max directory. Like again, I have to left out from max and reach to a user. Then again, cd space dot. You can see the user. Now again, user drive to again I redirect to C drive. So then again, cd space dot. So that is the way where you can backtrack. And if you go for inside, cd space that directory name. And now, for example, maybe you have questions. How I know which file and folder it's available for a cd command. So then you have to simple type a dir where it's give the result. You can see only just 2 folder it available in a user. One is max, another is a public. So here you can get the name. Then you enter it. Then you not know our max directory, and type dir where you can get a list of all folders. So that is the 2 basic command, dir and cd. Now next command that is a delete. Now for example, if you delete a specific file, so then you have to type a del, put a space and that file name with that extension, and that you have to write down in a double inverted comma. Now like you have to delete a more number of file. So then you have to write down first file name, put a space, then write down second file name, then again put a space and then write down a third file name. So let's we go for that example. So now you can see in a currently a max directory there is a one file of 1EC1 docs. Now that file like I have to delete it. So then I have write down a del, put a space in double inverted comma that file name. There is a one questions. Which command should I type to know all command that I can use in CMD? Just Asray, you go for the help command, which give the list of all possible command. And also I have one document that I have to upload in Google Classroom, so where also you can go through it. It's a 1000+ command. So now you can see I have write down del and double comma file name. Like maybe you have one more file to delete it, like abc.txt. Then also you have to write down multiple file, or if you delete a single file, so that also you can do it. So that is the command of delete. Now the next again important command, that is make a directory as well as the remove a directory. Now for example, if you created any folder or a directory, then you have to type mkdir, and meaning of the mk, make a directory. So just write down mkdir, put a space and that directory or folder name. And if you remove any folder directory, then write down rmdir, put a space and that a directory name. So we take that example. mkdir and workshop name directory, like I have to create it. It's a created, but how I know? You have to run a dir. Now you can see after the video, there is a workshop folder. It's created. And also you can see the date as well as the time. The 11th December and 10 o'clock and 52 minutes. It will be created. Same like you have to remove that. So then rmdir and that a name. It's deleted. But I have to know. Then again run dir. So now you can see after the video, workshop folder, it will be deleted. So that is the two command, make a directory and remove a directory, and directory that we called a folder. Now next command, that is msinfo32. So that command gives a summary of our system. Now it's give a summary of three: one a hardware, second a component, and third that is a software. there is a question, directory માં password set કરેલ હોય તો પણ remove થઈ શકે. No, so it's required that password. You have to enter that password, then it will be a delete. For example, if you turn on the bit locker, so then it's required that system password, then and then you can delete it. So now the command that we have msinfo32, which give the summary regarding your system, like a hardware detail, component detail, as well as that software detail. So we go for that command. msinfo32. So now you can see it's open one screen, and that is the name is a system informations. And you can see the here three component, hardware level. You can see the DMA, force hardware, IO, memory. Then you can go for component, that multimedia, input, network, port, storage. And if you go for the software, so where they have a system driver, basic aromatic variable, and that all things it's a represent. And also give a summary. So now you can see the OS which I have installed a Windows 10 Pro, that version. Other OS available, it means I'm set it's a dual boot or not. So that also the present detail, which OS manufacturer, Microsoft, system name, system manufacturer, the Lenovo, which model, system type, 32-bit, 64-bit, processor, i5 7 generations, BIOS version. So that also summary it's a give for your system if you run the command msinfo32. Now next, that is a command a system info. It's a more like similar to msinfo32, but it's a give like extra information like a security informations, your Windows product key, hardware detail, Then after a RAM, disk space, network card, so that also detail which provided by the system info command. So let's we type that system info. Its result represent. So now we can see here I have typed the most few parameter are common where you can see OS name, version, manufacturer. But here you can see the unique result that is a product ID. So that is my Windows 7, sorry, a Windows 10 product ID. Generally that we call a license key for the Windows. So that is my license key. Then you also give the result original install date. It means when I have installed that system, or that we call like when I do last time the format of my system. So that date also it's a represent. Then boot type and many more detail is also see. Then it's also give like how much RAM, so 8 GB RAM, and that what is the available. Then if you install like any virtual machines, then how many GB that you have to allocate. You can see I have allocated on 19 GB. Then how much it's available and use. Then as I said, it's also give a network card, okay, which is used for your internet connections. Then it's give like IP address for IPv6. So that is the informations where you get from the system info command. So that is the two basic command where you can get your system regarding a detail where you have to know, okay, what is a hardware, what is a software, which OS I have to install, which current version, how many RAM is utilized, is there any virtual machines. So that type of the assembly which are provided by the both command ms info 32 as well as the system info. So now these are the basic command for the Windows. As a first student you have to know. Now if we go for the in detail each and every command, then we have 1,000+ command which take a entire semester. But as a first student, those are the basic that we learn. Now we move to into the Linux platform, okay, where we go for that basic command also. So now I install virtual machines, and in this I already installed a Linux based Kali system, okay, where we go for that basic command. So let's parallelly we go for the command while it's started. So now the Linux that we called open source or freeware, if you compare with Windows, like if you purchase the Windows OS, then you have to pay the money. It means if you take a license key, so that's why you have to pay the amount of the specific key. But if you go for the Linux, it's a completely freeware, sorry, free as well as the open source software. So let's we go for the Linux version. Might be you heard the name Ubuntu. Then they have Ubuntu different version like Ubuntu 12, 14, 16, 18. Then like we go for other version. So then we have Kali Linux, Parrot OS, Metafoils OS, Backtrack, and many other OS which is supported to the Linux platforms. So now we are aware about the one difference in a Windows where we go for a command prompt, okay, where we type that all command. But in a Linux platform, we go for the terminal, that is one application default. In a terminal where we have to write down that a list of the basic command. So now first a command that we have a ID. So it's a display the user who execute the program. It means which user you have to log in that system. So that detail it's display by the ID command. Like we take an example, like if I log in as a root user, if I log in as a student user or administrative or any guest user, so that a user display which is provided by the ID command. Next command that we have a pwd. So that is the meaning of pwd, that we call a print working directory. Now, for example, I have redirect to home, root, then after home and download folder like, and then I have to print my current path. So then I have to type the command pwd, which gives my current path. Next command that we have ls. Now the meaning of ls, so that give the result of list of file as well as the directory, or we called a folder. And it's similar like to in a Windows dir command directory. Okay, for example, if you are in a download folder, and then you have to know in a whatever sub file and folder it's available. So then you have to run the command that we called ls. Then next command cd. So it's similar to Windows platform. Okay, like where you have to redirect your current directory to some another directory. Like take a same example, from you are in a home folder and you want to go into the download folder. Then you can type cd space that folder name. So this is these are the two basic command. ls, a list of the directory represent, and cd, where you move one directory to another directory, or we call one folder to another folder. So let's we go for that practicals. So now you can see that is the home screen for a Linux system. So now you have to just click on the here applications, where it's give a default software installations. And here you can see the in a favorite terminal. We go for the terminal, okay, where we learn, where we type that all basic command. So now the first command, that is ID. So now you can see the result, user ID, that is a root, group ID, that is a root. So it means I'm logging as a username root. If I log in as a student, so it's give the detail as a student. There is a question, pwd command हिंदी में समझाओ. So yes. So that is the ID. Now next like ls command. So it's give a list of the file and folder. So now you can see the here result, cyber.txt, document, hacking.exe, picture, template, desktop, download, music, public, video. So these are the folder as well as the file which is available in my root directory. Now here are one things that you have to observe. Those have a blue color that represent as a folder, and those have a represent as a white, that all are the filers. Again I repeat, those are the white color that represent as the files, and those are the blue colors that represent as a folder. Now next command, that is a cd, okay, where I have to move on some specific directory. Like we go for a document. So now you can see the my cursor, it's a redirect into the document directory. Now for example, here I have to know the file. Then again run ls. So now you can see in a document directory just only one file it's available, hello.txt. Now next command, that is a pwd. So now meaning of pwd, print working directory. It means કે currently જે locations મારું available છે એ location નો path શું કરશે, print કરશે. So now you can see the result. I'm currently on a root and document. So you can see the result, root slash document. So it's a give your current path. તમે જ્યાં located છો એનો path શું કરશે, print કરીને આપશે. That is the meaning of pwd. Now same like if I've left out from document directory and move into the root, so then I have to type a cd space and 2 time dot. So now you can see I left from document and move into the root. Now like here a root, I have to know the my print working directory. So then you can see it's give the answer only root, because currently I am located as a root directory. That's why. So that is the 4 basic command: id, pwd, cd and ls. Now next command, that both are the similar, mkdir. So it's a make a directory where you have to write down that a directory name. And then after next that is a rmdir, which is a remove a directory. So let's we go for that example. First of all, I have to run the command ls. So these are the list of file and directory available. Now I have to make a directory mkdir and then like a workshop. So it's a created, but how I know folder is created or not? Which command do I have checked? Any student know? If I run which command, tell me the command name, okay, where I have to check whether a folder is created or not. Yes, the good student, ls. So now you can see the previous result of ls, and currently the workshop folder, it will be added. It means the workshop folder, that is the created. So that is the way where you can check it. Now next, like I have to remove that directory. So it's a remove, but how I know which command I have to run for the check whether a folder is deleted or not? Type your answer in chat box. Yes, good student, ls. So now you can see the result, ls. Currently the workshop folder, it will be a remove. So that is the 2 basic command, make a directory and remove a directory. Let's we go for the next command. Next command, that is clear. So that is the command which used for the clear your screen. Now, for example, in a terminal, I have write down like a many command, and then I have to note close the terminal, but I want to clear that all command. Then you have to write down the command that we call a clear, which can clear your terminal screen. Next command that we have if config, which can display a bit of the informations regarding your network. So it's similar like to like in a Windows where we run a IP config to check your IP address in a Windows. Now, same way in a Linux platform where you have to know your IP address, then you have to type the command if config, where it's give your IP address detail, your subnet detail, your network card detail, MAC detail, and other network related information. So that is the command where you know your network related detail in a Linux platform. Then you have to run the command if config. So I have typed clears and put a enter. So now you can see the previous all command, it will be a clear, and now it's redirect to a topmost. So that is the meaning of clear command. Now next that is regarding if config. So now here you focus on a second line inet. So that is my IP address for the Kali system 192.168.115.134. That is the my Linux based Kali system IP address inet IPv4, and inet 6, so that is represent my IPv6 address. Also it give a subnet address, broadcast address, that detail it will be a get from the if config command, and which is similar to Windows base where we learn a IP config command. So now these are the basic command for a Linux base. Again, we have like 1,000 plus command. If you go for in detail, so it's take too much time. But those are the basic and important as a first year student, and that we cover all. So now there is a one questions from student. Just I go through it. There is one question from okay, which command should I type to know all command that can I use in a CMD or in a terminal. So at that time I have said the command that is the help, and that is a good question asked by the Shrey. So now you can see the result. I have typed the command help, HELP. So it's a give which my terminal version that all detail, and then you can see so it's a give a list of all command detail where I have to go for in a Linux base. And now you can see it's a start from the alphabet wise A, B, C, and all list of command where you can go for it. And that all command have again a subcategories where also in a help you can get it. So that is the command for help where you can go for that all detail where you can see the pwd and many more command which give the times also, like we take an example of a time. So it's a give based on the time detail, date also you can see the it's a currently print a date, and that all command where you learn into the terminals. There is one call. Let's we continue. There is one questions. Sir, can you please show again where we have to write all these command? Yes, again. So now you can see that is my Windows, sorry, a Kali system, a Linux based. We have to just go for the terminal. So that is the terminal. So where we have to write that all command like id, pwd, ls, that all. And also you redirect from here applications. From here you also get a terminals. So let's we go for lab manuals. So now any query in a second practicals, because that is the last slide. Thank you. Today we also completed our second practical as per the GTU syllabus. So now again I repeat any query from second practicals. Okay, again questions from same like in a Windows ISA, you have to just click on start button and then you have to type a CMD. So that is the applications a command prompt where we write down that all command like dir that alls. I just get answer only one student. No. Maybe remaining all are not understand practical too. At least give me the answer yes or no. Okay, now I get no doubt, sir. No doubt, sir. Good student. So let's we move to lab manual part. So that is your first page of a computer workshop lab manual, and it's contain a number of 18 page 1 8. So that lab manual file, doc file editable, which I already uploaded 2 week ago, 2 week પહેલા તમારા e-content માં already upload કરેલી છે. Now you have to just download that lab manual. Then you go into the second page number where you have to write down your full name. Then you write down your class 1EC1 dash your batch A. Then you write down your roll number. Then you write down here a subject name. That four detail you have to fill it. Again I repeat, your full name, your class dash your lab batch, your roll number, here a subject name. You need not to write date, subject in charge or staff in charge, as well as the head of department. Date, staff in charge and head of department details તમારે add કરવાની નથી. Then you have to make a PDF file, and that PDF file you have to upload in a Google Classroom. Again I repeat, go for e-content, download workshop lab manuals, then go for second page certificate where you can add your basic detail, then make a PDF file and upload into the Google Classroom. There is a questions, we will get this in Google Classroom. No, Isa, you just go for the e-content through MEFGA website where you have to download from e-content and then you can edit it. Now right now the 21 student is joined. Now tell me, is there any student who right now not join a Google Classrooms, or if you face any difficulty or till date of the time you are not joined? અત્યારે જેટલા લોકો જોઈન છે એમાંથી કોઈ એવું સ્ટુડન્ટ છે કે હજી સુધી Google Classroom જોઈન ન કર્યું હોય? I am discuss about a workshop subject. Again repeat, I am discuss about a workshop subject. There is a query from Srey, only name, roll number, class, and here also you mention subject name, Srey. The complete his and her term work in a subject that is a workshop. That 4 detail you have to fill. So I not get any message. It means that all of you are already joined the Google Classroom. Good. Now tell me how much time that you have to need to upload that in Google Classrooms. What time or how much day that you have to do. There's a question, sir, from where we find this module. Just go for the page e-content from MAFGA website. In a e-content, go for workshop subject, and there is a one link for the lab manual where you can easily download it. Next, any queries? Okay, so I have set a deadline that is a 31st December. So you have a 2 week time. Within a 2 week where you have to upload in a Google Classroom. It's a sufficient time, 2 week, or can I extend the time? I think the 2 week it's a sufficient. It's just only the 10 to 15 minutes take a time. Just go for e-content, download, add your basic detail, make a PDF and upload into the Google Classroom. The last date that is the 31st December. There's a question, sir. If you can share the link of download it. Deepesh, I am not share a link because it's require your user ID, password, and only student can download. I am not download that file. I'm not able to download or I am not able to share that link. Just go for your username or your roll number and password through MAFGL login where you can easily download it. So now the thank you student, that is the official last lab from my side because today we completed 2 practical as per the workshop subject. Now the next week where you redirect into the electrical department where that faculty teach electrical related practical for the workshop subject. There is a question, can we access e-content from Marwadi applications? No, you just go for the website, then you can easily access it. Okay, there is a question from lab manual. If you just go for the in detail, like that is a practical 2 and sorry 1, 2, then practical 1, command, detail, screenshot. It means it's a ready-made lab manual. You need not to add any content. You have to just add only second page detailer. I give list of all command with that explanations as well as that screenshots. You need not to make any any you did not add any container. It's a ready-made. And I already take a screenshots a list of the all participant where you get the attendance. Now any queries other? And if you have any query, you can send me the message in a WhatsApps personally. There is a question what we have to write in a term work. In term work, you have to write down subject name, workshop. There is a question, sir, only name and other detail fill કરી અને PDF send કરવાની છે. Yes. So now, thank you, student. I hope you enjoy the lab sessions from my side. And now the next week onward, you move into the electrical department. So this is the last lab from my side. Thank you, student. And I will take attendance screenshots. You get the attendance, don't worry. You can leave the meeting if you not have any query, student.